Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Outrageous. Oh, yes. That's right, Andy. Oh, yes. How are you? I am also super happy. You are the man, Andy. You are the man. Looks like it's just us at the minute. How have you been? Have you been up to much? Been doing much? Been buying much? Been smelling much? How are you? What is going on? You are the duck. Welcome, Dropout. Welcome, Zhao, and welcome, Dushan. How is Zhao? Zhao has been pumping out the content recently. It's hard to keep up. Dahlia is also here. Her perfumes have just arrived in the mail. How fun. I am fantastic and doing really well, says Zhao.
On the darkest and...
The fuck? Someone has supported via coffee. Thank you very much. You are too kind. It was Saab Replay. Thank you. Thanks for the stream. Dick Curry says, lucky me, just clicked on YouTube and here we are live. Yes, yes, yes. That's right. Here we are, live. And in colour. Live and in colour. Love to you, Rich Mitch. And to you, Andy. What did you get up to today, Rich? Well, today I got up and I remembered that there was a auction preview on at my local auction house, and so I went there, had a look around, a brief look around. There was nothing really there for me, if I'm being honest. Not a lot there. So then I went into town, grabbed myself a sandwich. A sandwich. I said to myself, a sandwich. And then came home, rested, because that little exercise, no, it wasn't exercise, that little activity completely fucked me up. And I thought to myself, I must rest, and I rested for about 3 or 4 hours, and then did some menial stuff. Augustin Oliveras, welcome. How are you? Tripler is wearing queer plain fleur. Leather and a plain flower. I think Silver Mountain is becoming my top 10. I think Silver Mountain is becoming my top 10 ever sent. Augustin is wearing Salem Gothic. DS and Durga. Let's see. Evening drawn by Sense. You are wearing a lot of them in. Welcome, Miles. Welcome, Jordan. Ninoslav is wearing Vinny Havan. Dushan is enjoying his Azaro Porom. Rich, what are the most bold zoologist scents? Nearly all of them are bold, to be honest. Bold at least. Tyrannosaurus Rex is pretty bold. Hyrax is pretty fucking bold. Camel's pretty fucking bold. I've got an entire playlist on the zoologist sample set, which is fantastic value, by the way. So I would try getting that. Zhao says, scent of the day, Cadlage Oud Pure Mystical Indian. An absolutely brilliant oud without breaking the bank. Has got amber wood in it. High racks, says Tripler. Eau de soie is what Sabri players wear. Yes, everybody, let us know your scent of the day. Zorro Porom. Miles likes it. Great bang for buck. Not sure what the modern one's like. I love the vintage one, though. Rich scent of the day. My scent of the day is this. Yes, yes, yes. It's Loves, or Laus, by Filippo Sorcinelli. Artisan says this bottle display is disheartening. I am sorry to spoil your hope. What is wrong? I did not mean to make you sad. Oh, I never meant to cause you trouble. No amber woods to my nose, says Joe. It's good news. MJ says, scent of the day is Musk Tonkin and plus sampling Eau de Glory. Big fan is MJ, but where is DJ? Who is Trouble? I am Trouble. Oh, excuse me. Time out, says Mitra. Go stand in the corner on 1 foot. Well, standing on 1 foot is something I actually can't do now, would you believe? Can't actually stand on 1 foot because of the state of my hips. Yes, the current is still excellent, says Trip. Explosive. It's a sheep. Oh, excuse me. No Coldplay. Yes, Coldplay, says Dahlia. No, Coldplay shite, to be fair. There's a wonderful illustrated book called Trouble for Trumpets. Trumpets. Huh? Time out, says Mitra. Get your nose on the new Caron Oud Excelsior. What kind of duck are you? Let's see, hold on. I'll show you what duck I am. That's what duck I am. I think I will cause problems on purpose. Welcome, Divine. How are you? Was that a fart? No, it wasn't a fart. It was me playing the trumpet. Hello, Sandra. How are you? Same with Le Bleu, vaulting away. Girl on tobacco, honey? Yes or no? Absolutely not. Never. Are you on the Les Abstract diet, Rich? That wasn't a quack. That's a cute duck, says Mitra. That's me. A cute duck. Annoying Goose Game needs a duck mod. Yes. I think I will cause problems on purpose. That is me. It is my motto, and I should get it tattooed if I wasn't on all kinds of crazy immunosuppressants. Perhaps I will light some lavender incense, which was given to me by Saint Genie 2 weeks ago. How fun. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks. Good God. Trying not to get banned, says Mitra. I got a friend to send me the 3 new ammo washes. Hope they don't suck. Apparently they're charging £41 for 3 2mm samples. That's a lot of money. I just don't like how they've got. Well, I mean, I say I don't like how they've gone down the whole batch code route. Batch wankers. You know what I mean? Like, the brands have obviously got the memo from the fucking Aventus shenanigans, you know, where they've been like, oh, this is the perfumer's batch, you know? What a lot of fucking horse shit. You can either make perfume or you can't. Miles, I have been shit disturbing today on all platforms, work and home, says Mitra. Playing the trumpet with his bullet, says James. Divine, I'd like to try roll to back. Love Rich Mitch, and I don't know why, says Dropout. Just ordered a sample of Silver Rood. I'll tell you what I'm liking to the point of I might buy it. It's Jubilation 40. I actually think it's more wearable than Jubilation 25. Good day, Pradeep. James with the Monty Python ref. If you have to force yourself to wear something, it's the best sign to sell it. I agree. Spaced out, I agree. You're absolutely right. Also, if you never think about wearing things, you know, that's a good sign to sell as well. I told you can blind buy 100 mils of that for like €180 already. Silver Rood. Not a blind buy for me. Don't blind buy things, for God's sake. Somebody was trying to get us to tell them to blind buy something today, and I was like, no. Not that I purpose blind buy ammo wash, though, yep. Propose. Sometimes everything looks and sounds funny when you're not leading the conversation online, says Miles. Silver Rood was offensive. King Blue was the more wearable version of Silver Rood, in my opinion. I think smelling Aventus for the first time in 2011 was an amazing experience, says Space. That was a moment in time, you know. What has Dahlia done? The batch code bonkers from the new ammo wash fragrance just took away my will to ever buy any bottle. Don't have time for that nonsense. I do want to try them though. So, well, it's going to cost you £41 to try one. To try 3 of them, you know, for 2mm samples. Absolutely obscene. Oh, great. This is going to go downhill with this batch BS with the other brands. Hi, Rich. I hope you're having a good day today. Welcome, Fragrance Collector. How are you? Vintage Idol is very similar to Jubilation 25 without the black barra. Spaced Out says the fragrance world needs a new release that will blow our minds and become a classic that we will get bored of eventually. Ganymede. Walks out the stores, apparently. Walks out the stores. Hello. Welcome, Sandra. You're sampling Rose de Jamal. I put it on 5 minutes ago. Ooh, I am excited for your updates on this, both here and in the Discord. I need to revisit King Blue. Welcome, Antonio. I can't blind buy full bottles anymore. It got boring, says Dahlia. I'm going to come back to that sort of point soon. The samples I sent you has something similar to Jubilation if you haven't thrown them in the quack bunch. I haven't. I've still got them. They're there. But you don't put the names or even numbers on them. You just send us a bunch of samples, and I'm like, it's just they're just there, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? So I'll never know what they are. You know, you're acting all mysterious, not telling us what they are. It's a nightmare. Hello, Olivia. Dahlia, it's time for the decants. Hello, all sent of the days. Vintage Bellamy, fantastic. It's groundbreaking in 2010. It was miles better, no pun intended. Faster, says Mitra. It wasn't batch code related, in my opinion. They just made a perfumers batch to create a false sense of exclusivity, in my opinion. So it's a similar principle. It's a similar sort of thing. They're trying to create FOMO. They're trying to create hype. They're trying to create a rush for people to buy them. It's all bollocks. It's all absolute bollocks, if we're being honest. I was randomly looking at Lucky Cent when the 100 Rock bottles popped up on my screen. Nabbed one, says Tripler. Yay. It's pleasant but pretty overhyped. Gucci envy. Yeah, I'm not a fan, to be honest. It's not like Cecile cooked the batch with her hands, says Proddy. People would pay extra for that as well. It's really weird, the Cecile fanboys. I saw a comment left on fucking somebody's video the other day, and they were like, I can't remember whose video it was, but they were like, did Cecile make this one? As if, like, you're on first name terms with Cecile Zarokian. Do you know what I mean? Fuck off. Fucking people are weird. Wait, so if I get this right, Amouage is doing their version of Aventus. Does anyone know the name of it? Because it seems like they're doing marketing techniques for claiming certain batches. They're doing. They haven't made an Aventus-like fragrance. They're doing Aventus-like marketing. They've seized on the whole FOMO sort of thing and the batch wankery, you know. I got compliments from an unknown woman wearing Equipage Geranium. Equipage by Hermes. I'm picking some cane sugar. She turned to me and saying, wow, it's so nice when a man wears nice perfume. I didn't expect it, says Miles. Was it current version? Tripler, I missed it again. It just wasn't meant to be. Cecile Holiday, the strip as a lefty is cute. Real comment from a bloke. Cecile Holiday, the strip as a lefty is cute. I have no idea what that means. That's just a collection of words. Tom says, scent of the day, Saffron Troublon. Gonna find another bottle of this soon. Gonna have to find another bottle of this soon, sadly. Welcome, Tom. I like the current Equipage much more than the vintage. Zambomans is just tuning in. Hello from Los Angeles. Scent of the day is Jasmine 17 by Le Labo. Maurice Roussel. End of year request for the duck. A recap of your favourite pickups. I usually do that. Video, to be honest. I usually go back over my year and my favourite pickups. I don't do favourite releases because I don't pick up many releases from like a certain year, like new releases and stuff. But I do buy fragrances, so we'll see. Rich, you plan to wear Gallo soon? I'm struggling with Gallo. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm struggling with Gallo. As beautiful as it is, I don't wear it. Like, I do not wear it. I do not wear it. I find it difficult to wear. This is another one of those things that I smelled and I thought smelled amazing, but it's not something I wear, you know? Scent of the day was Zerjoff's Iomi Deified. Smells like Frederick Moore's Promise. Yuck. Robbie Swan has got in line for Amawaj now, says Fragrance Collector. Just no fucking my interactions with that guy have been so weird. Such a strange man. There was a photo of her with test strips. Comment was Cecile holding a strip by the left hand. It was cute, says Brody. Oh God. Maybe promise me to ood for greatness. Oh God, even worse. Tomorrow we're going Vivatos Dark Rebel when I go to vote, says Augustine. Was there anything as good as Cologne Aficionado this year for you? Not so sure, says Tripler. Paddock, I suppose. Anyone a fan of Karl Lagerfeld? I had a bottle and sold it, I think. Rich, do you think Cafe Rose is similar to Noir de Noir? I get some greenish coffee, nothing too much. No, Cafe Rose is rotten because it's got a fucking gargantuan amber wood lurking in the bum. And I don't want it there. Get out. Smelled a couple of Zerjoff. They were overly sweet, but Lira was kind of wearable. Is it the 50ml, the Gallop? Yes. Sam Bowman says Gallop is wonderful. Does seem more femme than average for your collection. Comet was good this year, says Pradeep. Comet was not good this year. Gallop is amazing, but I want to smell it on a pretty classy lady. It has too much fruits for my taste. It's got that sweet rose shampoo thing going on. Sounds like those girls worshipping those K-pop idols. So creepy, says Alexandra. Zerjoff as a brand has a huge catalogue. I can say as a fact they have many scents that aren't sweet, says Divine. Is there really any good high quality Zerjoff so I don't completely hate the brand, says Fragrance Collector. I struggle with Asiare too. Too much fruit there for my taste. Iomi, says Augustine. Hello, Alicia. Starlight sale on Iomi Monkey Special. I'd say Naxos is good quality too. Naxos is sweet though. It just smells like Mugler's Pure Havana. Ugh. Cafe Rose definitely has that massive timber silk note. Ooh. You're right, Christy. Ooh. PK says, Tom Ford Bauduger, is it worth going for the private over the signature? It was for me. The patchouli was completely stripped back, and it was then completely dominated by an amber wood in the base. They got rid of the patchouli and replaced it with an amber wood, which was a shame. But they weren't gonna reduce their profit margin, you know. Sometimes I dream of Bauduger, clear as sign I need a bottle, says Spaced Out. If you like Lyra, just get Lolita Lampiga, says Dahlia. Fragrance buyers Lone Star for $115 shipped if anybody interested. Props to Bilbo for this intel. That is a good deal. That is a good deal. Not cheap. Gallop 250 for 50ml, says Dropout. Well, I got 175ml for 220 because I got the refill as well. You know. When people are skeptical regarding Zerjoff, I typically point to Starlight, 40 knots, Iomi, Monkey Special, and Naxos as a solid 4 in that most cases beats other mainstream niche brands. Andrej says, evening Rich and all in the chat, and evening. Gallo is 70 to 80 here, lol. Nothing at that level for that price, says Pradeep. No matter the price of a deal, if I don't like something, I can't wear it. I heard sometimes in a fragrance, if it has patchouli note, can overpower all the other notes in the fragrance. Don't know if it's true, says Fragrance Collector. Not necessarily. Not saying Zerjoff's catalogue is all original IP, but chatter about them having poor quality or exaggerated. Smell dog shit quality from brands like Mind Games and Amarud. Yeah, they're really, 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 really bad perfume houses. There are much worse than Zerjoff. What makes it easy to shout and scream at Zerjoff is the pricing, you know. Like, I think because you've got the law of diminishing returns as well. So the perfumes aren't, like, the price level. I mean, it's true of a lot of brands as well. The price level doesn't match the quality, you know. I've only ever smelled newer Oud Wood by Tom Ford. Is the older stuff with a gold label worth seeking out? Says Tom. Probably not. It never had great performance. Does the French government subsidise perfume prices? Pradeep says Tripler. PK says, is the duck reaching for the Vetiver de Pierre much yet? Vetiver de Pierre? I don't own Vetiver de Pierre. Aventus is hard to recreate because Creed's pineapple is a captive molecule, says Augustine. So, I think captive molecules only have a I might be wrong about this, but I think captive molecules only have a 10-year copyright against them. So I think that's true. I might be wrong, could be 20. Aventus has been copied so many times, it's been ridiculous. Discounters and third-party sites I'm allergic to buying retail, says Pradeep. Fragrance Collector says, oh, Erica used to date a sugar daddy from Xerjoff. I think she still does. In fact, I'm almost certain she still does. Mate, Oudwood last ages on my skin, no matter the batch, says Spaced Out. Xerjoff's pricing post-COVID is actually starting to get good. To be good. Amouage is €365 for 100 ml. Nishane is €345 for 100 ml. Killian is €250 for 50 ml. Would you rather 100 ml of Naxos or 50 ml Killian for $250? I recommend the Xerjoff. So the prices have caught up to Xerjoff levels, but that doesn't necessarily... I know what you're saying, and I mean, the Killians are an absolute disgrace. They just have absolutely no right to be anywhere near that price point. But the Xerjoffs are still overpriced. It's just that everything else is overpriced now. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, there should be nowhere near... Because that money's going straight to those companies in profits. Their profits are like going up. You know? It's not as if they're losing money. If you're a perfume house and you're losing money, you're doing something seriously wrong. You know? Because the markups are outrageous. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Prices have gotten so bad that Xerjoff is now a niche value brand. Outrageous, I know. Yeah, it is. It's the whole thing. I'm actually going on Les Odorants for the next episode, and I intend to raise points such as that. Atelier Français de Mathias Vetiver. Oh, God, right, yes. No, I haven't worn it because I wear that in the spring and the summer, actually. Sorry, completely forgot. It would last ages, but I get nose blind to it, says Sandra. DL Quelia is wearing Coromandel. Welcome, Amarud White Hinoki is very good office scent, says Tripler. Pierre Guillaume has announced another horse perfume. More horse. Tom Ford's favourite discoveries this year are Vanille Havana. Tom says, my favourite discoveries this year are Vanilla Van and Cardamom Musk. I know somebody on Instagram was slamming Estee Lauder after their recent financials miss, saying that fans of brands like Tom Ford, Le Labo, Killian and more better get their wallets ready because the heads are rolling. Yes, I mean, I've said this a few times as well. Galen raised the point on the stream me and him did. In January 2022, Estee Lauder's share price was $420 a share. The last I checked, it was last week or the week before, it was $87. So you can't have your fucking share price lose fucking what? 80% of its value? 70% of its value? And expect fucking after recent update it went to 65. So you're talking what? 20% of its value left? So it's lost 80 to 85% of its value. Yeah, that they should be sacked. The head should roll. But that's not that Estee Lauder thing isn't just perfume. They own a lot of shit. They do a lot of things, you know. And you've got to remember as well the Tom Ford pricing thing, the Killian pricing thing, the Mall pricing thing. The reason they're losing money is because they put their prices up because nobody wants to fucking buy them anymore. You know what I mean? It's fucking mental, like. It's absolutely bonkers. My favourite discoveries this year are Vanilla Van and Carter Musk. I think Killian Brown was made by the guy who used to be CEO of LVMH. If Jeremy Fragrance was telling the truth, Jeremy Fragrance is often wrong. He was not the CEO of LVMH at all. He was the son. He is the son of he is like a member of the Hennessy family. All right. So he's absolutely nothing to do with the LVMH fucking... That's Bernard Arnault. All right. Bernard Arnault is the bloke who fucking runs LVMH, or he owns LVMH. Killian Hennessy is the latest in a long line of Hennessys, and he's a fucking if he's fucking naming conventions or anything to go by, he's an absolute prick. Because the names of those fragrances are absolutely fucking obscene, like. How dare you think I'm going to buy a perfume called Kissing Burns 6 Calories a Second, Wanna Work Out? Fuck you. When designers cost as much as artisanal brands, something is very wrong. Estee Lauder got rid of several mid-C-level brand leaders and are putting in the ex-Lancome, ex-Killian guy at the top of Estee Lauder as a company. They cut the dividend in half, stock down 65% in 5 years. Puig vetiver, ever smelled it? No. Welcome Lost Sense. Any opinions on BDK? They're not very good. Looking for indie brands quite like Tobacco Rose. BDK aren't a very good brand. They're very generic, very bland, boring. Only way is to vote with the wallet. The issue is people be blind buying $500 stuff. That's where people like fucking... That's where people like influencers have got a lot to fucking answer for, you know? But again, I'm going to raise that on Les Odorants this week. Carter Musk from the Hermes Essence line. Just sprayed Tamdow EDT for my own enjoyment, says Miles. After a recent update, it went to 65. Yeah, Dolly, that's the one where you leave cardamom as a note. Carter Musk from the Hermes Essence line. Obscenely priced as well. Gris Chanel EDP is an elite, elegant daily wear scent for spring, summer. Citrus Riviera is a nice citrusy white floral summer day and evening, says Divine. I do not agree. Rich, what you like more, Tom Ford Noir or Beau de Jour? Beau de Jour. Jason Falkner, welcome. Nice on the share price thing. Very astute, dear boy. Massive company, interesting context. Fucking mental. It's absolutely fucking wild. I mean, it's an insane fucking thing. It's an insane fucking thing. that a company that size would shrink its value fucking 80% in 3 years. Under 3 years. I just banged my cup into my tooth. I'll pay for that. Hello, Pat Lester. Do you see that Strange Love coming out with a fragrance this December? No, I didn't. I'd be interested to smell that, but I'll almost certainly won't buy it. Divine says, Jamie Lacal, Gris Chanel Extra has a spicy, woody, aromatic twist on the EDP. Great for spring, fall. For women, I'd also point to Passesoir, maybe Velvet Tonka. Hello, man. Hello. Killian Hennessy is the grandson of the founder of LVMH, says Sandra. I'll probably do a Frederick Malle collection video this year and say goodbye to the brand. I think it's done. I'm pretty sure it's done. Thanks, Divine, says Jeremy. Yes. Tupac was the best member of the Hennessy family. Yeah, I was waiting for a comment about that. It's the first thing I think of whenever I hear the name Hennessy as well. Jeremy Fragrance is on too many drugs, says the man Cologne. Okay, Jeremy Fragrance addiction makes him look stupid. You have fat electrician, says Olivia Clement. I do have fat electrician. BDK is good. They blend well, and the price used to be really good. I recommend buying a Black Friday 30% off is €133 for 100 ml. Probably, but it's not owned by the same group, if that's what you're implying, says Divine. Thanks for the truth. But I never bought any BDK. Tried 2 bottles, absolutely forgettable. Smell nothing new. What surprised my senses? I like Gris Chanel. It's you and me, Divine, says Dahlia. Howdy, Howdy Fosco. Try Sorcinelli's Memento line with the outlandish bottles. A couple are really nice. I'm waiting for Dura Rose to send us samples. He keeps saying he's going to and never does. Sad. No, mate, same bracket style marketing, says Brody. Dahlia, we're going to get rich on our site eventually, says Divine. I like that. We can come here and somebody will say, what do you think of BDK? And I'll say, shite, they're not even worth fucking bothering with. And someone in the chat will be like, actually, you want to try this, 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 and this. You know? There is something here for everybody. Oh, excuse me. Tesla's value was down 80% too before he became the richest man in the world. Yeah, but that's all government subsidies. You know what I mean? It's all inflated share price as well. When that eventual boom turns to bust, it'll just go back to being a fucking prick. You know what I mean? Not every scent needs to be memorable, though. On a rainy spring fall day, I want my scent to match my mood, which is probably grey. Yes, that said, I love this. You know, the more I wear this, the more I fucking love it. Like, it's a fantastic fragrance. And it's got a similar bottle. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Got similar bottles. They've got similar vibes, those bottles, don't they? They're not exactly the same, but, you know, they're like cousins sort of thing. Might wear it tomorrow. It's not going to rain for a week, which is a straight... I mean, I've said that now. It'll probably piss down. The Henny and the Remy. The ripping and the tearing. Lauder could have simply been grossly overvalued. I do think we're in for a massive correction at some point, like, if you want the truth. It could come tomorrow, or Wednesday, or Thursday. Well, it could come this week, is what I should say. Divine, have you tried Fars by Zerzhov? And is it any good, says Fragrance Collector? Well, since not every scent needs to be memorable, the Henny and the Remy, yep, very open. Opens for floral amber before dry and masculine aromatic, very cool evolution, but the scent is forgettable. Bilbo hooked me up too. He showed me Gris Chanel testers that were under $100. Never pay more than that for a BDK, says Dahlia. I mean, everything's got its right price. I suppose what we're all or we can all probably agree on, is that everything's overpriced at the minute. Everything is wildly overpriced at the minute. You know what I mean? Everything's got its right price. It's just the shit stuff is massively overvalued at the minute. And the good stuff is probably worse because it's because it's good, they'll charge obscene money. I suppose the outlier to this is something like your jeans brand, you know. I'm struggling to think of other stuff. It really, if you want to buy good stuff, or like even Tower. I mean, Tower's got the most outrageous. Even not at discount, as Tower's pricing's absolutely brilliant. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. Pardon me. Vintage stuff used to be wildly undervalued. Now that's being completely fucking correct. Well, it's approaching being completely corrected, and it's heading in the overpriced direction. I'm trying to think. You've got to wade through a mile of shit. It's like the end of Shawshank Redemption. You've got to swim through a mile of shit to get to where you want to go. Do you know what I mean? That opens up. Bilbo, hook me up. Is the memento line the one with the? Is the memento line the one where the bottle is finger blasting a fine minge? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. BDK is meh, says Sandra. Many scents rely heavily on amberwood and Brox and aroma chemical. Nothing groundbreaking when you want to enjoy with Grishon LX Stray. I own that one, says Sandra. How do you rate Bogart's signature 1975 perfume in terms of its Russian leather note? That's very specific. It's okay. I wasn't a massive fan of signature, to be honest. I much prefer the Pour Homme. Actually, I think the Pour Homme's really nice. I can imagine Duck raving about Xerjoff's Starlight. How it's the greatest cardamom recommended by Oda Erica, says Prody. Behave. And Erica, I think because she's taken a lot of flack recently, and I want to be aware of not bullying her. Although she is kind of dead behind the eyes. The thing is, she represents late stage. She represents late stage fragcom. Do you know what I mean? She is the vacuous, cold, dead, money-driven, fame-driven influencer that has ruined many communities before, and I dare say will ruin many communities in the future. It's not how consumer discretionary is valued. Those areas of the market are very linear and predictable in what multiples they trade at, says Divine. Yes, Divine. Cardamosk, says Dahlia. Divine stocks used to be valued based on dividends too. They still do that, based on dividend yield. Yes, overpriced for sure. Yes, so Lauder is probably back into sane price value, says Tripler. But when risk-free rates go up, dividend yields need to go up to make people buy dividend stocks since there's no equity risk and fixed income. Tesla has never paid a dividend. There's a surprise. I actually only thought everything in America was overpriced. I guess it's everywhere. America is a cheap place to shop compared to a lot of other places, especially Britain. Britain's a nightmare to fucking shop in. And I live in the cheapest part of Britain. Touch wood. I actually only thought everything... No, sorry. Tower Healy Essential Parfums Aritzia. Healy's really well priced as well. Jason Falconer says, you're not wrong, could do worse than getting a £20 bottle of Aramis and enjoy every drop of retro goodness, says Jason. Yep. Cologne-wise. Cologne, yeah, perfume in America is not cheap, though. I'll say that, yeah. Tesla is a growth stock. Estee is a stable with predictable revenue. Value driven by margin expansion. That's a very analytical analyst way of looking at it, you know? I'm not an analyst or a fucking someone. I just want money to fucking grow. Do you know what I mean? But there's going to be a major correction with that Tesla thing. You know, there's going to be a major fucking correction with that company. You know, and it's whether Elon gets out first. Elon's a useful idiot. I really, really, really don't like Elon. So you're gonna get a lot of fucking bile and spite out of us when it comes to talking about him. So whether you actually listen to what I'm saying about him or not is at your discretion. But I really dislike that man. Completely unsuitable for public life. A nepo baby, a man who's never earned a penny he's ever fucking made. He has taken advantage of other people's fucking inspiration and genius. He is good at building teams and putting other intelligent people in and being the owner of something, like a lot of nepo babies are, you know. I've got the money, you've got the intelligence, you do the work, I'll fucking give you the money for it and I'll take all the fucking profit. That's Elon Musk for you. A terrible shit if ever there was one. And that's essentially why he's campaigning for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's promised him some sort of fucking, some sort of way of enriching himself or making himself more powerful. Fucking nerd, loser. Fuck him. Shawshank, yes. What about this finger blasting, says Germs. Look at a bottle of Filippo Socinelli. Chiesa de Oro. Yes, they are pretty, they're pretty on the nose. Well, so you wouldn't want that on your nose, to be fair. You could scratch your back with it. People called Erica AI. She is a little bit AI, yeah, I can understand that. How Bilbo hooked you on anything? He's got that 3-foot riz, you know? He's got that 3-foot riz, as the kids say. He's only 3 feet tall. He needs to be charismatic. Ulrika. Notre Dame, Notte di Natale, and Francis of Assisi were really nice from the finger blast lines. Fuck's sake. Oh God, I got a picture of it on Fragrantica. Do you know on Fragrantica where it's got the names of the lines and then all the perfumes in it? I can just see it. Finger blast line. Those definitions may become arcane when investors want to make interest when changing times values are relative to eras. Napoleon complex. He's actually heavy into AG production. Says Triple, I'll be the biggest conspiracy theorist in the room right now. Elon Musk sold out to Hollywood. I don't understand what that means, if I'm being honest. Friedman protege probably predicted 10 of the past 2 crashes. I don't know what that means. Tesla driver's got a few months left of free, no VED cost if getting one. Dreams over in the UK, says James. The UK's dreams have been over for a long time, mate. Not been any hope in this country. I'm surprised. I'm surprised anybody still has any hope in this country. People are talking about the latest budget. It's just, it's that ship sailed a long, long time ago. You know, it wasn't this budget. It wasn't the last budget. Liz Truss's was a bit of a fucking clusterfuck. But I mean, fuck. This country's been on its arse for 15 years, mate. We've never recovered from the financial crisis, man, of 2009. You know, that's been 15 years. It's basically my entire adult life we've been on our arse. You know, essentially a lost generation. Like, I don't know if you have those in America. You might do, but we definitely have them in Britain. We are absolutely fucked. I get Tom Ford Noir Anthracite in duty free in London. There was 1 bottle left, discounted. Oh, sensational. Every once in a while you find something like that and it just fucking makes you feel like you're winning again. Do you know what I mean? It just makes you think that it's all the fucking shit you've got to go through on a fucking daily basis with fucking with perfume. You know what I mean? And then once in a while you come across a fucking vintage, fucking outrageous piece of fucking perfume lurking deep within a shelf somewhere, and you're like, oh, what's that back there? And they're like, oh yeah, we can't get rid of it. Do you want it for like 80 quid for 100 mil? And you're like, yes, yes, yes. You know what I mean? You just walk out, it's like make your day. You know what I mean? Happened to me with that Beau de Jour. I got Beau de Jour at the signature line price, mil for mil. Fucking buzzing. Those definitions may become okay, sorry. P.S. If you want a 100ml bottle of Dior, they have a few left in duty-free Brussels right now. I was on a Eurostar recently. Nice. We're just seeing a lot of multiple expansion currently, and that's what's driving a lot of dollars to equities. Have you tried any Dessert perfumes, Rich? Not that I'm aware of. Dahlia Cardamusk is brilliant, only have 7ml. Wish it was not that expensive. Someone was trying to sell me it in a deal, and I was like, oh, I don't want to fucking pay this silly fucking thing. Sorry, that's Dune Pour On. Dune Pour On. Yes, yes, yes. It's good stuff. Slow down, Rich. Even gold diggers have a soul. I didn't know you were a religious man, Pat. Divine, it's one hell of a ball. Historically, the S&P sold for 16 times earnings, meaning if the companies arrived at $100, the S&P would trade for $1,600. If multiple expands to, say, 32 times the 100, but the stock is still 3,200. The US isn't cheap for vintage perfumes, though sometimes you scoff at prices and say they're a write-off, but I would jump on it if it was here in the US, says EC. I do realise that. The US, I've said many times before, US perfume prices are obscene, and the vintage ones are just fucking bonkers as well. You know, they've obviously fucking woken up to the value of vintage perfumes much quicker than the Europeans did. And the Japanese. I got Tom for, oh, sorry, I've read that. So as companies didn't become any more profitable, people, institutional and individual investors just started paying more for the same thing. People are stupid. That's what people are doing for Paddock, you know, and it's driving Pradip up the wall. Divine, I sat at the bar with a man the other night who was Milton Friedman's protege. He's predicting 3 to 4 years consumables crash. Sounds like a Pet Shop Boys song, says Galen. Tesla drivers got a few months. Friedman protege was probably predicted 10 of the past 2 crashes, says Fosco. 10 of the last 2? Back at the end of 2022, I was telling people not to buy because I assumed the uncertainty re-rates and inflation was still huge. Then markets rattled plus 30%, plus 40% in back-to-back years. Managing people for results is not easy. That's how you get the top. Jobs versus Wozniak. Hindsight is 2020. Yeah, of course, but that just shows it's not easy to predict with any certainty when the economy takes a downturn. Everything is propped up on credit. That is a major problem. I was talking to somebody else about this today. We are genuinely fucked as far as like credit's concerned. Like still to this day, fucking Thatcher and Reagan. That whatever you think about it, they put everything on the credit card. Everything on the credit card for that major economic fucking growth that they saw, those huge booms in the 80s and the 90s, you know, and now we are paying the credit cards off, us, you know. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Both national debt and individual credit, like house prices is a major thing in the UK. We have been left with the bills for the previous generation's fucking living standards. And then the fuckers have got the temerity to turn around and say, well, why aren't you doing as well as we did? Well, it's because houses were worth about fucking 10% what they are now, if not more. My parents bought their first house for $7,000. All right. The average price of a house in this country at the minute is £275,000 ish. Let's actually have a quick look at that because I've said that and I might be completely wrong, you know. The average UK house price as of April 2024 is £281,000. So I underestimated it by $6,000. As I said, That is way above the rate of inflation, friends. That is way above the rate of inflation. It's easy to predict downturns as they're always on the horizon. That's why people do it. The hard part is predicting when. I'm avoiding the BNPL with all my heart, even for Black Friday. I'm only buying what I can afford. Good, man. I am finishing uni at the minute. Literally none of my peers plan to stay in this country, says Tom. Which country are you in, Tom? Are you in Britain? I'd leg it as fast as you can as well, to be honest. No one has recovered, not even the US. Well, that's because we put it on the slate again. We put it on the credit card again. We basically bailed out the banks when what we should have been doing is sending them to prison for a long time. You know? It should be commensurate with how much damage they do, you know? People thought that a banker in this country getting stripped of his knighthood was enough. He's called Fred the Shred because he put all the the documents through the shredder to show his true culpability for what he did. And all they did was strip him of his knighthood. He should have gone to jail for the rest of his natural life. And then, frankly, they should have hung the cunt at fucking Tyburn once he died. I don't agree with the death penalty. I think it lets people off lightly. I think you should put them in jail and make them suffer. Credit card interest rates are less than perfume price increases. The CC fume index is short. Tom, there are so many EU countries like that. Every ex-Soviet country. Italy, I'd say Finland as well, and Portugal too. I've noticed the frag bargains in Japan have gone the wayside. Increasingly more expensive. Yep. Any experience with Papillon? Ramsey recommended them heavily. I have a little bit of experience with Papillon, but I think they're going to be my next discovery set after I wrap up the Schwarzlosses. And there might be one of the Schwarzlosses that I'm going to purchase, would you believe? I've reached the quarter of hearing fuck for the month, and it is now November. Only November the 4th. Thank you, Rich, says Mitra. No problem. I spent way too much when I was in Europe. Prices were so much better, says Fosco. Yeah, the perfume ones. Oh, you've got to buy while you possibly can, isn't it? You know what I mean? No, remember I have the two boys. The shite quotation is much higher, says Mitra. Most won't even pay retail for many vintage stuff in the EU. US perfumistas are passionate, says Pradeep. Let the duck speak. It's once a week, for fuck's sake, says Dropout. I'm not religious. I was referring to that meme. Gingers have a soul. Oh, God, gingers don't have a soul. So gold diggers have a soul. Just a joke. No, I get you, Pat. I know. I was joking as well. $7,000 shut the front door, says Dahlia. Yeah, I hear that. I know most of you people who are dissatisfied are going towards the Nordic countries. I live in London. It's a fucking joke trying to buy a property. Yeah, it's not even a joke, mate. It's beyond a joke. It's past a joke. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll look at the average London house price. Average London house price. Oh, God, that's not. Average London salary. No, I don't want the national London salary. I want the average London house price. £674,000 for a semi-detached house. £574,000 for a terraced house. £431,000 for a flat or a maisonette, and £1,037,000 for a detached property. That is fucked. That is fucked. That is so bad. That's why all the Cockneys sold up. There's no Cockneys left in London. You know what I mean? That is obscene. Our parents sure had it good. Yeah, that's because we had to pay for it. That's why. Now £7,000 gets you a certain formula of Aventus, says Triplet. Yes, after World War II, it was great to be alive. Economy was great. I mean, in the UK, everything was fucked. You know what I mean? So, I mean, those people who literally survived the First World War, the Second World War, had still rationing going on into the 50s in this country. America had it good, but there was rationing in Britain. Oddly enough, the same people were killed to get into London. London's a renters market and an elite career starting soon. Try to get something on the CV and get a second language opportunity is still insane in London. If you don't speak any local languages in Europe, there's no chance you break in here. In the US, needs a visa, so it's zero chance. I don't understand EU, UK house prices. If an average salary is 2k, how can anyone buy a 300 grand home? Well, that's the point. They don't want average people. Come on, what are we talking about here? You're buying a massive perfume collection using taxpayers' benefits money, says Frag Chats. No, I'm not. Jason Falconer says politics in the UK thread is entertaining, Mitch, but yeah, people criticise millennials UK for being lazy and not working their asses off to get on an imaginary ladder that's out of reach. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm expected to earn... Look at marginal tax rates post-World War II compared to today, says Fosco. Yes, I think I know what that means, actually. The taxes back in the day were much higher. Look at marginal tax. I am expected to earn around 60k upon leaving uni, which is really good, says Tom. My girlfriend was expected to make 38k. We recently calculated that's still deeply short of affording a good mortgage. You can get a really good one up here where I live. You know, it's neo-feudalism, Pradeep, says Tripler. 3 years in, you two will combine for 120 grand. Most important part is avoiding lifestyle inflation and saving for a down payment, even if it's not London. I'll tell you what, mate. Come and live in the northeast, you'll have a much better quality of life. The people are lovely. And it's a much slower pace as well. How else do you forecast you buying an asset that's 10 times your annual earnings? Average house price in San Francisco is over $1 million, says Tripler. I thought about moving to London, UK one time, at least owning a house there. I didn't know that was that expensive. It's one of the most expensive places in the world. It's like Dublin. Dublin's really expensive as well. I'm pretty sure London real estate is less overvalued than Paris. Paris is trading at 14 times the annual income or something. I don't know why, because Paris is a shithole. It's almost as bad as London, I was going to say. I was going to get out of America, says Fragrance Collector. Go to Canada. I understand that. The gap is staggering for a basic property is my point. Yeah, I agree on that. I've been thinking the same, Collector. How to ship massive amounts of perfume, says Tripler. Beep, beep. Where is Carl's abs, says Floral Notes. Trickle down economics, my arse, says Baboosh. Sounds like Frag Chats doesn't like the political talk. Not to worry. Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. Marco Orsini Jones, how are you? What's the perfume to the left of the Narciso? This one. This is Balenciaga Pour Homme. This one is The Night. Nice job with the chat, Rich. Cheers, Tripler. Go dehydrate. Can hear it in your voice. No, I meant the one in front of it in front of Fred. Oh, right. Sorry. This one. It is Laus by Filippo Sorcinelli. And it's a fantastic perfume. It is my scent of the day. And I will take Pradeep's advice and I will go and dehydrate. Excuse me whilst I. Have a nice time, friends. I shall return. Ooh. I am back. What is going on? What is going on, people? If you like the stream, friends. Good water. Had soup for my dinner, and it had salt in it, and I'm like, ooh, wow. I'm a thirsty boy these days. So I feel like I'm going to explode, I think. Nice, the incense perfume. It is very incensey. It's very nice. Other than lavs, this stuff is bizarre. Not challenging, not wearable, says Pradeep. There's some other stuff that's all right in that same line, you know. Reliquia is quite nice. And there's a couple of other ones that are quite nice, but I think you only need one. You know what I mean? How will oil move? It's only got one direction to go. It'll only go up. Like, it's already fucking quite low. Up or down, in my opinion, says Marco. He's narrowed it down, to be fair. He's narrowed it down, you know. Pick one, flip a coin. How is it on Earth? Says Lost Sand. I mean, if you can get out, I would, you know. Probably worn mostly by pedo priests, says Pradeep, says Triplet of Pradeep. Perfume oil, up, as long as it's an LVMH base formula, says Margot. He's high and half naked himself, mostly. He's very, very unusual, is that character. I'm going to end making my parents go even more broke. Because the clothes I buy and the fragrances, the clothes are from Stefano Ricci, Zili Zegna, Gio Armani, Dolce & Gabbana. Buy your own clothes. Oh dear. Balenciaga pour homme. Beautiful. I love me Balenciaga pour homme. I could have worn that today, to be fair. I was out. That bottle's it's not nearly finished, actually. It's got about 35ml left. Someone tried to sell me an empty bottle of Clear de Russie for EDT for like 200. What? James says, let's discuss the election. No. No, I don't want to. Even though I do. No, I don't want to, but I do discuss it. And I always regret it. You know? I always regret discussing it. Especially on stream. No worse place to be than Philadelphia area during election season. The ads are out of control. Oh, I hate... I'll tell you something else as well. You've brought up ads there, you know, right? The adverts on YouTube have turned absolutely fucking... They've gone mental. They've gone absolutely fucking mental. They're everywhere all the time. They're calling it the advertising experience. And then they've called... Like, if you pause a video... and leave it paused for a while, when you press play again, it'll fucking start an advert, right? And they're calling it the pause experience, would you believe? The pause experience. Some kind of dystopian madness that can fuck off. It's wild. Fosco, I genuinely think it could come down to like 4 figures. Like, I'm talking like about 2,000 to 3,000 votes in Pennsylvania, if you want the truth. That's what I think's going to happen. But if Donald Trump loses, it's the female vote. It's the female vote that's cost him, in the way that he talks about women and his record on women. And the reason I think this is, one, I know what women are like. I say I know what women are like. That was a fucking a bad quip. I'll tell you what makes me think about that. When they struck down Roe versus Wade, right? A couple of really conservative states, or traditionally conservative states, put it to a referendum. Do you want legalized abortion or not? And the results came back, and the Conservatives were absolutely shaken to that cause when they found out that 60 to 70% were in favour of abortion in their states. Very, very interesting. That is a revealing insight into how the political class and the political elite on both sides are completely divorced from how the population feels that they rule over. And I think if Donald Trump loses, I think when he loses personally, I think he'll lose the college vote quite comfortably. Maybe not the popular vote, but the college vote. But in Pennsylvania, it's going to be tight. Whatever happens, Donald Trump, I mean, if Trump loses, he's going to go to court. You know what I mean? He's going to try and overturn it, and he'll fail, you know, because he'll be lying again, because he lies about everything for no reason. Dahlia says, I'd like to live in less interesting times. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. Honestly, our parents, the fucking shithouses, our parents lived through the fucking 90s, right? And the greatest decade in fucking Western fucking civilization, right? We just won the Cold War. That fucking period between 1991 and 2001, and between the fall of the Berlin Wall and the fucking 9/11 was mint to be us. And it was a lot of our childhoods. But after that, it's just been one thing after another, like. And now we're living in the midst of a revolution, you know? We're literally living in the midst of a digital revolution. And we're fucked. It'll be, and you know what it is? It'll be in 100 years' time, there'll be books written about the period of time we're living in, right? And there'll be people saying, God, I wish I could have been alive, then it would have been really exciting. But what they're doing is, somebody said it earlier, hindsight's 2020. You know? You know what happens next. History's interesting, but it's safe interesting because you know what happened next. You know? When you're living through it, it's just fuck it, especially if you've got any level of anxiety whatsoever. It's a hellscape. Very strange times. Greetings, Fleet Street Barber. How are you doing? Scent of the day is the moon. Pretty damn good stuff. I don't have the guts for the night yet, though, says Fred. Do you have the guts? Do you have the funds? Do you have the will? I like the night. I sold my moon. That sounds like I sold my arse. I sold the moon because I've got an amber wood lurking in the back of it, but if you're enjoying it, please do. Tripler says, was listening to an older stream the other day, Rich, and there was talk of cinnamon fragrances. I find Balenciaga Pour Homme to be a huge green cinnamon. Wasn't mentioned. I get cinnamon in it. Excuse me, fuck. But I don't think it's a cinnamon fragrance. You know? It's cinnamon in it, but I don't think it's a cinnamon fragrance. Everyone is interested in the US election, says Proddy, even Indians who don't know our president. That's because the American election matters to everybody. It's like the old saying goes, when the Americans sneeze, everyone else catches a cold, you know? What happens there is important to everybody on the planet, like, whether directly or indirectly, you know? What is very interesting to note is that the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians, the Israelis, a lot of countries in competition with America would like Donald Trump to win. Oh, I tuned back in at the wrong time, says Dahlia. Sorry, Dahlia. I don't like myself for talking about politics. Honestly, I don't. I can't help myself chuckling seeing Kamala talking with Putin. He will ask for a curry recipe. Oh, God. I just want to say this as well, by the way, right? I just want to say this as well. I hope this doesn't come across as me endorsing Kamala Harris for any reason, right? Once again, the American public have been confronted with an absolute fucking shit of a choice to make. Which testicle would you like removed? Your left or your right? You know what I mean? It's just she's the least worst option. I don't think she'll be a good president. She's far too liberal to be an American president. But just Donald Trump's just absolutely off the rails. He's wild. He's fucking insane. He's dangerous. He's stupid in a lot of ways. He's a useful idiot, you know. You look at the people who have dealt with him. If babies who are aborted will drive up housing price. Oh, God, Tripler. I can't help chuckling to myself. Dahlia, I tuned back in the wrong time. Yes, sorry, Dahlia. Exactly, Rich, spot on. Yeah, if baby, I'd like to live in less interesting times. Totally, 90s were the worst in my country. Yes, I should say, it's not the same for everyone. Platinum Rim. I read that as Pacific Rim, but Platinum Rim. Duck just dissed all our dads. History boobs. I'd love the. I think what's just going to have to happen at the minute is everybody's just going to have to fucking. Like, everybody's just going to have to sort of like bite their tongue and say, right, for the next 4 years. It's like they did with Clinton, like they did with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the least worst option then as well, because she was a bad fucking mess. You know what I mean? That's what everybody did then as well. I think that I didn't realize how hated she was in America, and I made it understand. I made it like a point afterwards, because if you remember, the first time he got elected, everyone was shocked, and I was like, well, how can everybody be so wrong? You know what I mean? Didn't realize how much she was hated, and also some of the points Trump made were what people were really worried about. You know, I think now he's shown his colours. He's been in office for 4 years and he totally fucked it. Didn't do anything he said he was going to do. Didn't do anything of note. Basically just made the country look stupid for a while. So, I don't know. At least the Creed branding was good in the 80s and 90s. At least the fragrances was good. Or at least the Creed brand was good, yes. The moon is one thing, but the night is a whole different level of expensive. It's wildly, wildly expensive. Silly expensive. I got it 20% off back when it was the old original price, so I did all right on it. You know what I mean? I did okay. I wouldn't say I did well. 100,000%, Mitch. It's bad. Yeah, it is terrible out there. It is. It's really bad, and it's bad over here as well in Britain. Let's not take the piss. The fucking current government that came in won one of the biggest landslide elections in history. Fucking huge it was, massive. But as wide as their victory was, right, as wide as the Atlantic Ocean it is, it's only about an inch deep, because people didn't vote for them. People voted against the incumbents. People voted against Boris Johnson, against Liz Truss, against the party that brought us the last 14 years. They didn't. A lot of people who would usually vote for those people just didn't vote at all. You know, couldn't bring themselves to do that. You know? So we were presented with an absolutely awful choice as well. Our fucking government that we've got at the minute, shit as fuck. I mean, it's a strange running theme, isn't it? Government's being fucking shit. Dahliage. Left, right, left hangs lower. Well, oh well, says Alicia. And they're trying to market her as being black, which she is not. Kamala is an Indian woman. Did you already cover your blind buying topic, says Dahlia? Which blind buying topic? Tell me. Science Bear is wearing Furio. As for overpricing, that happens in other spheres. Yes, it does. I don't perceive Kamala as being too bright. She kind of slapped her way to the top. Well, this is the allegation. I don't know that she did. I don't know that she did, but this has been like the major allegation with her and stuff like that. She's definitely been like a political person. She's not like the average person. She hasn't like ran her own business. She hasn't like worked in like the normal sphere. She was a prosecutor. I mean, how many prosecutors do you go and hang around with at the bar, or you go and fucking you meet when you're walking down the street? You know what I mean? They're not normal people, these people, you know. There's a distinct lack of normal human beings in the fucking political sphere these days. If she had run with Monica Lewinsky for a VP, I would have voted for her, says Dahlia. Tribalism kills, says Germs. My country is completely ruled, or it used to be, by tribalism. Platinum Rim, says Dahlia. She is the Monica Lewinsky. Welcome, Platinum Rim, by the way. We have not met before. I'm glad you have come here. What's staggering is how it's come down to these two people. Yeah, exactly. The quality of the candidates in Western elections in the last 15 years. And I'll tell you what, it's got a lot to do with fucking vested interests and people trying to fucking, like these huge fucking vested interests which are trying to gimmick the fucking elections and make it work for them, whether it be outside interference, and that definitely goes on. Fucking people have their favourites from outside, like your fucking Russians and your Chinese and your Iranians and your fucking Israelis and your fucking... I mean, I heard tell that some fucking British Labour Party not candidates, but like Labour Party people went over to America to fucking campaign for Harris. Like, they weren't actual politicians. They were, like, campaigners. But, like, what the fuck is a campaigner? What the fuck are you talking about? You've got professional campaigners now. What the fuck is that? That's not a job. You know what I mean? It's like somebody being a fucking influencer. That's not a job. You know? Fuck off. It's a phenomenon. But a job it ain't. You know? Fuck me, dead. Some wild shit going on in the world today. Lewinsky is still a babe, says Germs. Germs likes his older women. Welcome, Fragrance Journey. How are you? You have walked into a nightmare, mate. We have been talking politics and we've been talking perfume, and I mean, perfume's not a nightmare. Some of it's a nightmare, you know? Probably. Red Letter Media had an interesting video about how they had a good chunk of copies of this bad ET ripoff. They sold one on eBay for a ton of money, raised for charity, and destroyed the rest. Oh no! And two-party tribalism. Jumped on the political rant, which I love, says Empty Sense. Welcome. Dahlia, you are okay, says Alicia. Dahlia, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Dahlia? Hey, Rich, any good fragrance recommendations for me? It doesn't need to be expensive like last time. I just need brand names and some vetiver colognes to try and some fresh ones. Ooh. Ooh. Vetiver colognes, are we? You want to try Escal en Haiti. Escal en Haiti by Les Indomables. That's actually a really good price. And you get a really good fragrance for your money. Vetiver Tonka by Hermes. Vetiver Extraordinaire by Frederic Malle. Even though I'm not a massive fan of it. I like it, don't get us wrong. I think it's good, but I don't love it, you know. What else is major vetiver? Ancre Noir's obviously a classic. I wonder if Eugene will ever do a vetiver. That'd be fun. Grey Vetiver by Tom Ford, still a fantastic perfume. If anybody in the chat wants to chime in with some fine ass vetivers for young fragrance collector, let me know. Facts, Mitch, they're not normal. Yeah, amazing how public servants become the elite. Yes, the VHS tape game has gone crazy, says Dahlia. And good luck finding anything to play them on for a decent price either. I wouldn't care. I threw out my old Samsung TV video combo a couple of years ago. I've got a shit ton of videotapes though. I recorded all the WWF pay-per-views for about 3 years, and a lot of the Raws as well from about 1996, 97 all the way to about 1999. When I was like an early teen, because I was a fucking loser, as we all are at that age. It's mental. Excuse me. Facts, Mitch, they are not normal. No, not normal human beings at all. Donald Trump inherited a shit ton of money, and Kamala Harris was a political animal from birth. You just don't have many people. Like, in real life, if I meet somebody who's that politically charged, I try and stay away from them. You know what I mean? You're like, oh God, not again. These two feel like if you take a high school kid and ask them to be a CEO, lol, can't hold a conversation. Yeah, they're not. You can't have normal conversations with them. Like, just chill. Can our Western society be saved? Probably. If anyone wants a good laugh, see Sacha Cohen on Fallon doing a Trump interview. I'm not sure how I feel about Sacha Baron Cohen actually anymore. Politicians are influencers. You're right, Rich. Ooh. Horrible. It's all corruption and favours. Yeah. Elon doesn't care if his company's fail. He has so much money that every company he has could fail and he'd still be set for the rest of his life. Yes, that's the thing as well. But the thing is that he wants fucking... He wants more. He wants to be the first trillionaire. You know? And I go vote tomorrow like it makes a difference, says Empty Sense. It does make a difference, it does. And if for no other reason, you should do it because there are fucking millions of people who have died the world over so that they could have that right. And if you don't do it, even if you don't vote because you think you can affect it, then you should vote because it's a tribute to the people who have died for shit that they believe in doing that. And I actually believe that. I really do. If I miss a vote, I've missed 2 votes in my life. No. Maybe 2. 1 or 2, right? And I felt terrible. And it wasn't even a general election. It was a local council election. It was a nothing election. And I felt fucking shocking. I'm not saying everybody should feel the same or does feel the same. That's not what I'm saying. It's just I felt like fuck. You know what I mean? It's exclusivity in the EV market, I bet, says Science Bet. Well, he's been promised a factory in Russia if he gets Trump elected by Vladimir Putin. You know what I mean? He gets to build his giga plant in Russia. You know? He's stupid enough to believe it as well. The thing is with Elon is he says he's got Asperger's, but he's definitely on the spectrum. And people on the spectrum, I'm afraid to say, are very easily manipulated. And when you are dealing with politicians and people of the level of fucking Xi Jinping in China and Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump, right, you are easily fucking worked over by people that manipulative, because you don't get to that sort of place in life unless you're easily manipulative. Elon Musk's quite manipulative, but I think he can be manipulated as well. And he surrounds himself with yes men, you know? I fucking hate him so much. Feel free to disregard my opinions on Elon Musk if you want, because I can't stand him. I'm blinded by fucking rage against the fuck I like. Pradeep says, I endorse Oda Erica for president. Boobs you can't believe in, says Platinum Rim. And I go vote tomorrow. Indeed I do. I'm going to apply at the local nursing home, says Germs. Ugh. That should not be allowed. That should be stopped immediately. Marco says, wearing Bell Arm this evening. Can't get myself to enjoy the dry down. What don't you like about it, Marco? Dahlia is not okay. Dahlia is not okay. Dahlia, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Dahlia? Hi, Rich. Welcome that charming man. Your scent of the day is Cafe Tabac. Someone was talking about that earlier. How fun. That's interesting. I love a good callback. Probably those two significant parties in one, says Trell. Trying to avoid the politics chat. I'm sorry. You can sing. It's true. Oda Erica's presidential campaign will be financed by Parfum de Mali. Election interference. Erection interference. Those giant jiggly boobs. Yes, equal left and right. Dahlia, what's wrong? Rich, you should sing karaoke on Tuesday once in a while, says Dahlia. No. Solly Vetiver are a waste of time to launch nowadays. Haitian Vetiver is excellent, says Germs. Sycamore, the new Boca Zelen is fabulous. Vetiverio. Vetiver 46, Comme de Garçon 2 man are great on the same frag, regardless of what people say, but not true Vetivers. Brooks and Brothers New York, was it a Vetiver fresh? Germs, I don't have a VHS player, but I have all these VHS tapes. Trust me, at time I take off the mask, I like Vetiver more than Creed. No, it's a fetish, says Collector. Good man. Rich, any thoughts on Diptyque's Benjoin Bohème? It's very nice. Very nice. But Girl on Vetiver is the GOAT. Girl on Vetiver is the GOAT, and it remains the GOAT. Even after 70 years, no one's topped it. Says a lot about the fragrance. Dahlia Speed was the first ever VHS I got. Speed? Do you know what the Swedish is for speed? Do you know what the Swedish word is for speed? It's fart. That fart. So when they released Speed in Sweden, it literally got a picture of Keanu Reeves on the front of it with the word fart underneath. And when they released the single, the sequel, Fart 2, same thing. Madness. Yes, Rich, everybody go vote. I agree, everybody should vote no matter what. Yes, I do agree everybody should vote. Everybody should vote, but I don't think you should be legally compelled. In Australia, you get fined if you don't go and vote. Do you know that? I don't necessarily agree with that. But I do agree with the principle that we should vote. Absolutely. I go to India to vote. The country's fucked anyway, says Pradeep. Local elections are usually more important, as that decides where a lot of your money is spent and on what, says Dick. That's true. Dahlia, I'll trade you for a VHS player for a Cartier. I can't stand Putin or any dictator, says Dushan. And he is a dictator, be left in no doubt. Some people are like, oh, I'd love a leader like Putin in my country. It's like you would absolutely hate Putin as your leader in your country because he's been there for 25 years and he's not going anywhere until he dies. You would absolutely despise him. Do not lie to yourself. It's a wild thing to say. Evening, young man. Welcome, Finer Things. How are you? Enjoying the finer things, finer things? This is my theory, and I'm stating what Musk had all the libs as buyers for Teslas and needed to court the right to cement his technology across the consumer market. Could very well be true. Find the dry down of Bell Arm to be an overly sweet powder type smell. You get the same vibe from Rose de Jamal. You get that vibe from Rose de Jamal? Trump should have paired up with Etat Libre d'Orange for his fragrances. Has anyone out here actually sampled that shite, says Fleet Street? I have no idea. I wouldn't actually try a Donald Trump fragrance because I think they'd be cheap as fuck smelling, but expensive as fuck to buy, you know? Have you seen his watch? Like, I watch a bit of watch content as well. His watch is a fucking disaster too. Very dodgy. Musk is like Lex Luthor, says Tripler. I think he gets off on being compared to a supervillain because he is essentially a child, but he's an accelerationist. That's what he is. He's a self-professed accelerationist, and they are very dangerous people. Benjamin Bohem is fantastic. It's Proddy's favourite fragrance. I love crackle bottle of Bohem, Benjamin Bohem. I would too, but it's not something forthcoming as far as price is concerned. EC says Australia is a tyrannical country. They're very firm when they make a decision. They're like, right, mate, you're going to fucking do this or we're going to kick you in the arse. What about Speedy Gonzalez? Farty Gonzalez. Oh, good Lord. He's outrageous. In Australia, they won't even fine you for boxing a kangaroo. But if you don't vote, Australia is a weird place. Let's not take the piss. We sent the crooks down there. You know, that's not to say everybody in Australia is a criminal because you can't be born a criminal. You know, you shouldn't be made to pay for the sins of your family and stuff like that. Just a weird setup. Another one of the British Empire's fucking more ludicrous fucking things to do. He's as old as dirt. Another one. Who? Trump. Yeah, that's another problem with Donald Trump. Donald Trump had a major problem when Joe Biden... I actually predicted this to Ramsey and Jonathan. Joe Biden, when he dropped out, completely fucked Donald Trump because Donald Trump is now the old man in the campaign. You know? Donald Trump is now the continuity candidate. He is the old man. You know, everything he said about fucking Joe Biden now applies to him. And the fact that he fucking called off the debates shows like a level of cowardice, you know, that I think American people won't appreciate. I do think Kamala will win comfortably. Comeback was on Wednesday, Thursday. Could be completely wrong. You know? Could be completely wrong. And I dare say I've been wrong before, but I do think Kamala wins comfortably in the college vote. I don't know about the popular vote. Could be that it's a complete whitewash. Don't know, because the polls are tighter than a fucking gnat's arse. You know? It's madness. Rich, do you have any girl ensembles ready for now? Tonka Imperial and Queer Beluga work like magic in this weather. I've already used them and I sent them to Fliss. I am, yes. Ted Lapper has Poker Face today and it's Frag Guy. New name for me. Oh, welcome. How you doing, Carl? What is up? You went to his watch neighborhood and no one knew him. I went to your hood and they don't know. I'll play that video. I fucking love it. It's fucking mental. Where is it? Where is it? That's not it. I went to your hood and they don't know you. There he is. Are you ready?
I'm tired of hearing you lame say I ain't with it. Telling me I ain't got motion. I went to your hood and they don't know you. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. I'm tired of hearing you lame say I ain't with it. Telling me I ain't got motion. I went to your hood and they don't know you. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
I need to find a use for that on the channel. I fucking love it. I have no idea why. I just think it's fucking hilarious. Fucking hell. Is that Christo? No, it's not Christo. Bill Gates is more like Lex Luthor in my opinion. He's a terrible shit as well. You went to his watch neighborhood and no one knew him. I went to your hood and they don't know you. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Who doesn't love gold and diamonds, Rich? No. Diamonds are fucking worth nothing. Like, there's fucking loads of them. It's De Beers being fucking shithouses. Was so close to buying a crack Bohem bottle back in the day. One of my poor financial decisions, says Marco. I need a sample again of Benjamin Bohem. I tried it a while ago. Do you think it resembles Bois d'Harmonie? I might use it as a replacement for Bois d'Harmonie. A kangaroo is every animal in Geel Pool combined. It's empty sense. Midra says, here's what I don't get. Why Jordan Peterson is supporting Trump as a person, because Jordan Peterson's more fucked than any of his patients ever have been. He is an absolute nutcase. He's completely fucked. It's wild. He's completely mental. I think a VHS player would be $15 in thrift stores. Why aren't throwing them away on site, says Dahlia. It seriously doesn't matter who wins. None of those two would change anything. They don't have actual power, says Spaced Out. I've seen them getting high while applying genetics, says Empty Sense. It's good amount. Actually, they used to test them before putting them out. It's like, no, it's like, says Jordan, says James about Trump appointing multiple Supreme Court justices that strip women of basic healthcare right. It absolutely matters, Spaced Out. That's what I think is going to cost him the election. That's what I think is going to cost him the election, because politically, Kamala Harris is nowhere near what is an American president. It'll be a completely new thing for her to be an American president. Politically, like her political stances on things. She's far too liberal to be an American president. I don't particularly think she'll be a good American president. I think she'll be a one-term American president if they don't choose Donald Trump or some nutcase like him next time. And Donald Trump has completely inflicted this on himself, in my opinion. Very silly. It's not papery like Bois d'Harmonie. I don't find them that similar. Is that a young Christo? Is that Christo? I don't know. Farrelly's in the background. Must say I did love the passion hating your amen video. Made me laugh, says Carl. Oh, it's so bad. That Phantasm is so shit. They're bringing out a new one and I can't remember what it's called. It's absolutely awful. Hello, Jonathan. Christo, says Dahlia. Rich, you need to get him on stream. He's not coming back, lads. I'm sorry to tell you, the Christo's gone and he's not returning. It's very sad. But I think that part of his life might be over. That music. That reminded me of a Jordan Peterson meme, says Dahlia. Bill Gates' wife left him because she found out what he was doing with Jeffrey Epstein. Trump is there too. Yeah, there's been some nasty shit comes out about Donald Trump in the last week. And Jeffrey Epstein, there's that tape, isn't there, where Jeffrey Epstein's talking about Donald Trump. They were scared of each other. I don't doubt for a second. If you watch this interview with Donald Trump, where they're like, "Oh, Donald, will you release the UFO files?" Yes. Will you release the files on JFK? Yes. Will you release them on fucking? Will you release them on? Oh, what was the other big conspiracy? going around. And he was like, yes, no problem. And then they were like, will you release them on Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, well, I'm not sure about that. A lot of good people could get hurt. You mean yourself? You fucking mad bastard. Well, what do you mean by mental? It's more complicated than that. No, it's not. You're absolutely insane, Jordan Peterson. I've sometimes seen Jordan Peterson himself arguing it out on certain YouTube live stream chats. Jordan Peterson argues with himself because he's fucked. Kamala has been courting Republicans, though. That's because it's exactly what she needs to do. She needs to get people who wouldn't normally vote for her to vote for her. That's what people do. Ronald Reagan did it. Bill Clinton did it. George Bush did it. Barack Obama did it. You can keep going back, all the way back. You need to get more people. It's not the people who will vote for you anyway that matter. It's the people who don't know. It's the people who wouldn't normally vote for you. John, what's your voting day pick? Frag pick, says Tripler. No more politics. John is here, says James. I would love it. I've completely given in. I've completely given in to fucking politics on this stream, and I'm kicking. Believers, I'm giving myself a good kicking for it. Phantasm was not great, just like the rest of the line, says Pradeep. You charlatan, you bad man. Voting fragrance, I'd have to think about the most defiant fragrance I had, says Jonathan. Well, that did sound like Christo. Damn, what's the story regarding Christo? He's one of the OG greats. He just fell out of love with the community. Benjamin Bohem, but I own both, says Pradeep. Signore Berlusconi, is that something you like about Trump? Yes, Melania. We need a re-release of the X-Files, says Tripler. I step away from a moment and we've gone down this rabbit hole, says PK. I know. Berlusconi tops all the scumbags. He was a terrible shit, like. I want to believe it will happen, Tripler, says Dahlia. Okay, the truth is out there, Donald DiCaprio for president, Italian models and yachts all day, says Pradeep. Spooky Mulder's in the chat. Presidents should behave like kings of Bhutan. Presidents should not behave like any kings of anywhere. At all, ever. Voting fragrance, that's easy. OG Koros. Take us back. Yikes, germs. Wouldn't be surprised. Would wearing 50 sprays of vintage leather oud to a voting precinct be considered voter intimidation? The voters would be intimidated, but whether it would be voter intimidation, I don't know. But definitely the voters would be intimidated, you know? Oh, they'd be fucking intimidated, all right. You'd scare the shit out of them. Liz Morse for president. Side note, I very much wanted Phantasm to be a blockbuster, says Jonathan. I wanted it to be a blockbuster as well. When I knew it was L'Oreal releasing it, I lost hope. And then when I smelled it, I was just fucking... Oh, it's so bad. It smells like an amen for about 10 to 15 minutes, if that. And then it's just, it just fucks off into Amber Wood territory. And it's devastating. It's really upsetting, as you could tell. By my reaction. Carl says the duck for president. Free fragrances for all on the NHS. How's your leg? How's your leg, Carl? EC will find a voting booth next to circa 2005 Dior home voter. Eric has left boob for president, says Dahlia. I really wish I had a bottle of the night now. I would go to the pulls with 30 sprays of the night. You don't need 30 sprays of the night. Dahlia has retracted her message about Eric as boob being president, her left boob being president. Maybe she wants a right boob to be president, you know? They are political choices that we make. Duck's first act as president, urination public, finally legal again? No. No. I would just build more toilets. Dahlia, I thought about my life. She really is a symptom of where we are as a community, isn't she? Left boob president, right boob vice president. Duck's first move would be to ban Amber Woods. Yes. Erica's butt for president, something I could get behind. Good Lord. Right wing, right sling, says Empty Sense. Which candidate will get us more weed? You don't touch weed. Still healing, pal, but almost there 2.5 years later. Oh, mate, I know about long-term being disgusting. It's just awful. Like, I tried to get in touch with the long-term physios today, not the rheumatology ones. I've been getting pins and needles in my arms, would you believe? But like on the underside of my arms. So like my bottom 3 fingers, so my middle finger, my ring finger, and my little finger on my left arm, and the same on my right hand, right? And all down there. And when I spoke to the doctor, she was like, "That's your neck. I'll refer you to the physio." She was like, "But not the rheumatology one, because it's a nerve in your spine, in your neck at the top." And she was like, "I'm worried because with you having the spinal issues you've got, like, I wonder if there's something going on there, like if there's some sort of impediment, like if you're, I don't know, I've said impediment and I've started stuttering. If you've got some sort of like pressure on your nerve." And I was like, "Well, I'm getting it at my feet as well." And she's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." So, I mean, she didn't say for fuck's sake, but she might as well have. Which can still healing almost there. I feel bad hating on her. I get high for hanging fruit though. I go for high hanging fruit though. What can I say? She's a symptom rather than the cause, but at the same time, she doesn't have to be that way, and she is. She has to take responsibility. If she's going to do what she does, she has to understand that she's going to take flack for it. You know. Dahlia, stop deleting your comments. It's weird. "You don't know me, Rich. You're supposed to be my bestie," says Lilith. "That's a cervical spine issue," says Lilith. "I know." Eva Green as Rich's Secretary of Interior. I'd be the fucking secure her interior. Eva Green is a beautiful woman. Oh, God almighty, she's immense. That's a chiropractor fix. I'm not going to the chiropractor. Stop that. You leave me alone. Something pushing on, yes. Well, the problem is because my spine's doing all sorts of bits on its own. It's gone into business for itself, my spine. It's not a great development, put it like that. Well, mine is still an open wound problem. Accident caused low pulse and leg and slowed healing down. That is a problem. You've got an open wound after 2.5 years. Fuck. Mate, I've had that since I was 25 or so. For me, it's nothing comes and goes, but obviously could be very different for you. Yeah, it's all different for different people. I'm just going there just to hopefully rule it out and give us some exercises to do. That was a boob joke and you didn't touch it. I touch all boobs. Chiropractor is quackery. I agree. Like Rich the Duck. I don't agree. Hawk Tour for president. No, she's a fucking idiot as well. Stop making stupid people famous. Fuck's sake. And stop putting them in charge of countries. Gosh, Eva Green is my female crush and I am married straight with a kid. Just fucking, she's amazing. Woof. Are we going to Jeremy Fragrance's wedding? What are we wearing once there? Is he getting married, is he? Oh dear. All boob jokes get touched. With consent, of course, says Platinum Rim. Cracker Practor. Eva Green is beautiful, but she's French, says Lily. She's Franglish, says PK. The French support Polanski, says Lilith. I prefer Monica Bellucci, also an immense piece of crumpet. Speaking of which, I've got crumpets downstairs, of which I shall eat before I go to bed. Not all of them, just one or two. Lily, what do you have against the French or France, says Pradeep, an Indian. You have been on for a while, says Demand Cologne. I go for 2 hours, at least, every time. Unless I'm ill, and then I stop. Eva Green is half French and half Danish, if I am not wrong. Well, her dad is Scandinavian, at least. Polanski has one movie I like, but he can rot in prison for all I care. He's a horrible man. Him and Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando's a terrible shit as well. What he did to that girl on the fucking set of Last Tango in Paris. Horrible beast. Horrible, horrible beast. Fortunately, I find it quite easy to separate the art from the artist. There's a lot of people who struggle with that, and I understand that. I do. It sucks seeing other people in Hollywood defend shit like that because they've all done it themselves usually, do you know what I mean? Power just exposes people. I don't want to know what happens in Hollywood. Quincy Jones just died. There's apparently some shit to come out about him, if you believe what you hear. He was a bad fuck. A bad fucking man. Loads of shit that he did to Will Smith, apparently, but not to worry. Wes Anderson defended Polanski, says Science Bear, because he made nice movies. Who would want to be a good celeb fit for Jeremy Fragrance to marry? Madonna? She's warped as well. Polanski's girlfriend was murdered by Manson. Yep, that's right. Sharon Tate. Why did aliens land only in the US? That's a very good question I ask myself very often. There are no aliens. Not on Earth, anyway. Andrew Tate should be in prison as well. Yes, he's a fucking pervert. Alain Delon was absolutely a bit dodgy. And the book is wild. Which book? The good book? The bad book? The average book? I wonder that too, probably. I think aliens are in direct contact with remote villages. No, they aren't. There's none. Just leave it. It's over. It's finished. It's not happening. There's no aliens. We've established that you can't travel at fucking post-relativistic speeds. The time it would take and the chances of that shit being a thing is just so remote. Rich, what do you think of Muscle Ravageur? Overrated. Not a massive fan. Rich, what do you think of Muscle Ravageur? That was a joke. Oops, I started something. This stream is getting deleted anyway. Actually, I don't know. Maybe if my prediction is wrong. It's not necessarily that I'm pulling for Harris. I just don't want to look like an idiot for predicting it wrong, you know? I am quite confident in my prediction, though, you know? I think she wins comfortably on the college vote. But it could come down to a few thousand votes in Pennsylvania. It really, really, really could. I'm talking crazy low numbers. We'll see. Any easy to get Alain Delon fragrances you would recommend? Oh, there's no such thing as an easy to get one, mate. Mitch, for what occasions would you wear the night out? Oh, don't know. It's when the mood takes me. You know, when the mood takes me. Oh. Mood decides what I wear, not me. Kind of, yeah. Polanski is a great director and his works should be protected even though he's a piece of shit. Two things can coexist. I know. The Night, 100 USD per spray. And friends, that is it. I am sorry for talking about fucking politics in this stream. I really, really wish I could avoid it. And it's not just you, it's me as well. I will be glad when this cycle is over. You know, I will be glad when this cycle is over, friends. This year has been a big year for elections. The French, the British, and the Americans all going to the polls. 2024 was a hell of a fucking year. You know, it's not even fucking finished yet. We've got 2 months left. Fuck that. Smell perfume, be happy. So I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I have enjoyed it. I'm going to go dehydrate again. Like the stream if you like the stream. You don't have to like the stream if you don't want to. And I will see you all again soon. Good night.